Hi.
I'm gonna do a little ASMR. Fuck.
It didn't really catch it, but the attempt was there.
And I
Did
spilled it
you?
all over my camera. It's fine.
Oh, good job.
Yep.
Anyway, hello everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Is It Cool podcast.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Delaney, and we're your hosts. And today's a very special episode.
Yes.
Not only is it the third episode, which first off, we never thought that we'd actually sit down and start a podcast, period.
Yeah, for real.
Second, we never after we started podcast we'd ever be able to find the time to sit down and actually record.
That, yes. Bigger that than the
And
first.
and
Oh,
third, oh, I don't know what that was, but whatever.
surprise.
Surprise. We made it to the third episode.
Woo.
So today's episode is actually going to be released on St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day is a special day for us.
It's a very special day for us for multiple different reasons. Um, I don't know. Do you want to take the reins on this one?
So, well, okay. Delaney and I, let's add some lore to the conversation.
We're
Delaney
both
and I
we're
met.
both Irish. We're both
Yeah,
very, very Irish. Okay. So like
I'm half
family
Irish.
history.
Relax.
Yeah,
Relax.
you're more Italian than Irish, but I'm very Irish. Like grew up with all of the traditions as a child.
Not me.
So that was me.
But to give you some lore, okay, Delaney and I met in 2021 in New York City at a rooftop Irish bar. Um, we didn't talk this whole time, but like we met. There was the happenings, the beginning of something great.
Part of the reason why we didn't talk to each other like the whole entire night is because we were sat at opposite sides of the
Yeah.
table,
And I
and
was having a panic attack the whole night, so I didn't talk to anyone.
each person that was sat at that table that night was going through something miserable. Like
Yeah,
we
we
were
were all
all
miserable.
it was bad. That is a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
But on to the next part.
So flash forward 3 or 4 months. No, backtrack. November, so a month later, we happen to both be in LA at the same time and happen to both be at the same cafe at the same time when a Miss Rita Ora walked in and blessed us with her presence. And
Somehow myself and one of Caitlin's friends, who's now one of my friends, both got photographed
with
in the
her,
back of her Instagram post that ended up also posted on the front of the Daily Mail.
wonderful. But so Delaney, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I went over to Delaney and her friends who are like now my friends and like basically said hi to them because the only other time we had interacted was either at this dinner or on Halloween a couple weeks previously when I was blackout drunk in the pit of a concert. Blackout. Like literally how I got home is a miracle. And
Especially from MSG to Jersey.
and Delaney and her friend were teasing me about how loud I was. I'm a naturally very loud person, but they were teasing me. I didn't know them well enough at the time to know they were kind of teasing me. So I was like, oh, they don't like me. I'm gonna go back to my table and pretend this never happened.
I don't know this story.
Delaney and I shared a couple text messages in between or Twitter messages about how much we hated being in LA and needed to go home. Home being New York. And so that was that. Flash forward now to January. Delaney is coming for her birthday and messages me on Twitter and was like, hey, love to get together with you. And I was like,
I also did not tell Caitlin that I was coming into the city for my birthday weekend. I just told her that I was going to be in the city for the weekend, period.
yeah. And I was like, me? I'm like, did she message the right girl? Like, and then I texted our mutual friend, Allie, and I was like, Allie, is this right? I was like, this can't be happening. And I was like, no, she's great. Like, go out with her, whatever. That weekend the day after Delaney's birthday is a very hard day for me personally, but I was like, fuck it. I'm going on a bender. Like, we're going out. So we went out. We had a great time. We've been best friends ever since. But that is all part of the story because flash forward a year and a half later, Delaney and I are living together. Were we living together at this point? Yes.
Yeah, it was
March
St.
of 22.
Patrick's. Yeah, this was 2 years ago. So St. Patrick's Day 2 years ago, March of 2023. I had just moved from Seattle and then was living in the same house as Caitlin in New Jersey
Yeah.
before I got my apartment in New York.
So Delaney and I had just started talking to my now fiance. Like two,
Like a month
our
before.
accident, February 28th. So about 3 weeks before that,
Oh my God, it was that soon? Oh my
yes. So
gosh.
3 weeks before that, I had just started talking to my fiance. Like we matched on Bumble, started talking. We were in it to win it. We went on a couple dates. Delaney and I were like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this guy. I don't have plans. We're going the fuck out for our St. Patrick's Day. Like we're
Well,
gonna go on
so
a
St.
bender.
Patrick's Day was on a Friday, and we have one very specific bar that we love to go to, and it is in one of the hot spots for St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day every single year. And so we decided it's like, all right, so the next day is Friday. I don't think you had to work the next day. I know
No, the
I
next
did.
was Saturday, so I didn't have to work. And I
Yeah,
was like,
you didn't have to work the next day, but I had to work the next day. But also, we know how I am with going out the night before. I have to work the next day. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. If I show up hungover, I can power through.
yeah.
I've time and time again, I can. So it was fine. So I was working in Brooklyn that day, and then you came into the city and we met up and everything like that. But anyway, I'll let you
But
continue on.
but before so me and my fiance were not official at this point. We're not we're not there. We've gone on 2 dates and it was great. We were having a good time. He calls me and he's like, "Hey, I got off work early. Can I come over and see you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He comes over. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I was like, "Yes, wonderful. Love this. Great. We're having a great time." But I got to get on a train in an hour because I have plans. And he was like,
I have to go meet Delaney in the city to go get wasted on St. Patrick's Day.
and I was like, I am meeting my best friend, the one I got in a car accident with. Yeah, I'm meeting her. The one you met after you took me on our first date. Yeah, that one. We're going out to our favorite bar to get plastered because it's St. Patrick's Day. And he was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, can I hang out while you're getting ready? I was like, yeah. So whenever I get ready, I'm in the get up. He takes me for lunch. And then I was like, I gotta make the train. So he walks me to the train station right by the pizza place. And I went and I got my happy ass on the train and I sat down and I didn't look back. And we went on a bender that night.
It was so bad.
Yeah, so we're gonna tell that story, but I needed to give that lore that I left my new
Yeah.
boyfriend at the train station
It will
because Amy
always
and I
be
had
the
plans. I had places
funny
to be.
it was the funny bit that was like, "Hey, like will you be my girlfriend?" "Oh, yeah, 1000%. Super excited. Like great to be in a relationship with you. But I can't really stop and celebrate with you because I have
Yeah,
plans to go get wasted with my best friend."
no, no, literally.
Sorry.
Like there
That's
were
exactly
only
what
a
happened.
tier, and you were never one.
Nope.
Sorry, you were never at the top of that tier.
So that day I was working in Brooklyn that day and we were living in Jersey at the time together. And so I had to bring like my laptop with me and I had my big bag with me and everything like that. So I had to lug this bag around with me all night and I will never forget it because I remember at the end of the night like hitting multiple people as we were going down the street with it. And I don't know if you'll remember this, but I pissed off a lot of people and it was really funny. So I had the great grand idea. Well, I have some bottles of booze that I'm going to put into my bag so that we can, drink and enjoy before we get to the bar because the less that we have to pay for at the bar, the better, right?
Because you're
So I
going
had
to a place in Midtown first.
we went to a place in Hell's Kitchen,
You're
which
right.
was so miserable. So
Yeah. And the creepy ass bouncer.
girl, girl, oh my gosh. Okay, so Caitlin and I made a decision we were gonna go out to get dinner first and do like a true like Italian or not Italian. What am I thinking?
Irish.
Irish dinner first. So we wanted to do the corned beef and the potatoes and Irish soda bread and everything like that. So we want to do like a real true Irish dinner first, and then go out and like actually drink at our favorite bar. So we found a place in Hell's Kitchen that didn't take reservations, but we didn't know that there was going to be a cover fee. And at first they said, "Oh yeah, it's cash only." And we were like, "Well, crap, we don't have cash because we're stupid. We didn't bring cash with us." And then I said, "Well, can you take I stupidly said, "Ed, can you take a card?" They said yes. So they rang my card, but they bring my card up for like 4 times the cover fee of what it was supposed to be, which really pissed me off. Um, and so I then later had to call that bar and be like, you guys charged me 4 times the amount you were supposed to. I demand a refund. I don't think I ever got the refund, but it
I don't
is what
think
it
you did
is.
either.
No. So got in there, got some good food. It was actually okay, but it was also Hell's Kitchen. And I always say that Hell's Kitchen is literally hell, like it's in the name, like it's Hell's Kitchen. Um, and we ordered like one drink maybe when we
Yeah.
were there.
Because
But
you're
then
your pink Whitney and Sprite outside.
yeah, so I had a hydro flask, and this is a very important part to the whole entire story of this night. I had a hydro flask with me that was gifted to me by my previous job that I had left 3 months before, and very sentimental to me for whatever reason. I think anyone that has like a hydro flask or like a big water bottle, like an emotional support water bottle, understands what I mean when I say that's like I was tied to this water bottle. And I filled it with ice, and then we were pouring Pink Whitney into it because that was the booze that I had with us at the time. And then I got a can of Sprite because I was like, you know what? That's not a bad mixer. We'll just go ahead and throw them in there. And so we were drinking this the whole entire time, but it was like 95% Pink Whitney and like 5% Sprite.
Mm.
And I almost like, I think you were about ready to pass out after I
I-
gave you a couple sips.
yeah, that was not good. My drink was
Um,
tequila. That was not good.
yeah, this was dark times because I don't know what I was thinking. So we got a cocktail at the restaurant or bar or whatever and had our dinner, but then we didn't want to order another cocktail, so we decided to just pour the Pink Whitney Sprite mixture from the hydro flask into the glasses that we had at the table. And it was fine. And then we left there to go to another place, which was our favorite bar, and it was great. We saw our favorite bartender. I don't Did we see our favorite bartender that night?
We did.
At some point we oh yeah, because that was the night that I got his number.
Yeah.
Which has come in handy multiple times. Uh we went to our favorite bar. I think we only had like maybe one drink. Maybe one
It's
drink
fun out.
because
Like we were just vibing.
we were just hanging out, we were just vibing. It was just the two of us. We'd also had multiple sips and shots of the Pink Whitney mixture, so
And he
I
got us
was
green tea shots.
Yep, he is known for
Infamous.
bringing out green tea shots to us. And it's always super funny. It's a whole bit that he does. Like, he always brings over a huge tray of them to us, no matter if I'm with Caitlin or if she's there without me. Um, and we were getting pretty drunk at this point, and
I had to
it
still get
was
back to Jersey.
we still had to get back to Jersey. Yeah. And I think what happened is that morning, because I knew we were going out, I think I took the bus or the train into the city
Yeah, because we were gonna drive.
instead of driving. Yeah, we were going to drive together in your car. And so you had to sober up at one point, but I was like, well, I'm not driving, so I'm fine. I can keep drinking. I kept drinking the Pink Whitney mixture. And then do you want to tell the rest of the story as to how I now have this very wonderful souvenir that I'm
It's
showing for
blurry,
everyone?
but I can conjure up enough of it. So we decided to leave, and like where we were walking, we had to get the one up to World Trade. And so we're walking the streets, and we're walking through, oh my gosh, what? It might have been Wall Street. And we're
I think
walking,
it was like Exchange Place or something
it
like
might have
that.
been or wall, it was over there. And there was a one of the like working plastic barriers. Delaney stops mid-step and goes, "Oh my God, look at the look at the pint glass." And it's like a nice just Guinness glass. And was empty, I'm pretty sure.
It was a actually it was full. So
Oh,
a full Guinness glass. Like, you know what? It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish. Caitlin's half Irish. I was like, it's a sign. I need
so
to
she's
shake
like,
it.
it's a
I
sign.
also have a bad habit of going out and doing stupid things and then taking something home with me.
Yeah, you like souvenirs.
I do love souvenirs, but I don't love paying for them.
Correct. So Delaney's like, well, I'm gonna take this home. We're like, yeah, you have to take it home. That's the most logical thing to do right now is to take this Guinness glass home.
That was not mine. We don't know who put it there. Like, for all we know, it could have been like some person that has like some crazy disease and like threw up
That
in it
didn't
or something
matter.
like
That did not
that
matter
and
on the
put it
street.
on the side of the street.
That did not matter in the financial district at 1 a.m. So Delaney puts her beloved hydro flask on the ground to take pictures with said Guinness glass.
I don't even think we took pictures. I remember emptying the glass.
That's what it
Oh,
was.
because I wanted to empty the glass, so I poured out the glass, and then the hydro flask was in my
On the
bag, but on the top of my bag, and then I had a small like cloth bag from my lunch from work
Mhm.
that day, and so I was like, wait, since the glass is still like kind of wet, I can just stuff it into here, and it'll be fine and not get all the rest of the stuff in my bag wet, and then I'll just put the hydro flask on top.
Yeah,
Except
and so somewhere in between all of this, we get back to the car and the hydro flask is missing.
I
Don't
was
really know how
so
that happened.
I
And
was
we get
so
back
so devastated.
and we get back and I had a rental car at this point because again, we crashed my car. And
I crashed your car.
I'll say we'll share the blame. I wanted pancakes too. And so and so that is a story for another day, to be completely honest. And so we get back, Delaney puts the pint glass in our kitchen sink where our dirty ass roommate had all of his shit laid out, and we go and retire for the night. Um, Delaney wakes up the next day to go to work and it's like, "Where's my hydro flask?" I'm like, "You don't have it?" Because Delaney and I were sharing a bathroom at this point in this house. And so Delaney like comes in and I'm like awake, I'm on my computer or my phone or whatever. She goes, "Have you seen my hydro flask?" And I was like, "No." Like, "You don't have it?" She's like, "No, I don't know where it is." And I'm like, "Girl, that shit's lost. That's on the street." Like some person on the street found it at 2 a.m. and was very happy.
Some person on the streets of I was very, very happy to find fucking Pink Whitney and Sprite in the hydro flask. I was so devastated. Um, yeah, that was an interesting night. I really don't remember much except for finding the Guinness glass and wanting to take it home. That's
Oh
genuinely
my
like all I
God,
remember.
wait, I remember more. We went back. No, because we took, I remember, it's all coming back to me.
Oh my
We
goodness.
decided to take the New Jersey train. That's why we left Stone Street early.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to drive all the way to Hoboken and you didn't want to pay. So we took the New Jersey train. We didn't drive because I left Jeff at the train station. I'm remembering now. So
Oh,
we're
that's right. We got
going
it.
to
Okay.
Penn
Yeah,
Station.
I'm
We're going to Penn Station and these girls stop us on the street. I don't remember if I had a bunny tote or what I was wearing.
because I would not have had a bunny
You
tote.
wouldn't have had anything, but they stop us on the street. I'm on the phone with my fiance, and so they like jump on our shoulders and they're like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's my boyfriend."
Wait, oh my God, I remember this.
And I was like, "Yeah, it's my boyfriend." And I was so excited, obviously, because I'm drunk and like I just had a boyfriend. And we start talking, and they were also Harry Styles fans. And so we start talking about that. And I think I still follow them on Instagram. Don't remember their names, don't remember who they are, but I am 99% sure I still follow them on Instagram. And then we like walked to Penn Station together. Like that was peak
Wait,
girlhood, was us walking on the streets drunk
I
with
do vaguely remember this because then we were getting excited because the Empire State Building was lit up in the
yes.
Irish flag colors. Okay, this is starting to make sense to me now. Yeah,
And we tried to
yeah.
convince my fiance to come pick us up.
We did. It didn't work, so
It
we
didn't
had to
work.
pay
He
for
was
an
like, "No,
Uber.
fuck you guys."
Yeah,
So we
that
wound up
was,
taking the train, but
we
what a
tried.
night.
That was a night. That was a night.
Last year was much more tame for me.
For you,
Yeah,
yeah.
I said for me.
I
I
went on a 3-day bender.
girl, to each their own. I can't be doing that anymore.
It's really funny that before we started recording, we were talking about something related to Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
And this whole entire weekend last year started because of Zach Bryan. So I have a very good friend who she loves Zach Bryan. This was before all of the shit came out about him. He's
Mhm.
genuinely a cool man, but loves his music. I do enjoy his music sometimes, but he's also a terrible human being. So whatever. Anyway, he was performing in Newark on the Friday. So St. Patrick's Day
Was a
last year was a leap
Saturday.
year, so it was on a Sunday.
You're right.
Yep. So Friday, my friend said, hey, like, I want to go see Zach Bryan. Let's try to get tickets. He was performing in Newark, and she had never been to Jersey before. So I was like, you know what? I got off of work at this time, and we decided we were going to go to the bar right across from my job and get a couple drinks, and then we were going to go to Newark and try to get tickets. And we really, she just wanted to go and get specific merch pieces outside. So we went out there, we tried to get merch pieces. We got a few of what she wanted, but not all. And all she wanted was a hat and a sweatshirt. And she got the sweatshirt, just never got the hat. So we were at the venue, like we were doing everything we could to try to get tickets. Like we were putting things on Twitter trying to get tickets. We were on all the resale sites. We went into the box office area. We literally sat and like loitered in the box office area for like an hour trying to get tickets and like tried to play the sympathy card, and it did not work. So in the very end, it was like, well, it's late. We could kind of hear some of the music, but then they were kicking us out of the like box office area, so we had to leave. So I said, why don't we just go to our favorite bar, the one that Caitlin and I went to last year, the year before St. Patrick's Day. And she had never been there before. She had never met our friend who is the manager of this bar. And it was gonna like, I was like, you know what? It's perfect timing. We have to take this train to get back into the city anyway. And then from there, we can both easily go our separate ways to get home safely. So we decided to go and do that. So we get to the bar, and I didn't message him saying, hey, we're on our way, because it was very like spur of the moment type of thing. We're just going to go. And we get there, and there's a bouncer, and there's never a bouncer at this bar. It's a very casual, more sports bar, dive bar kind of situation. So the fact that there's a bouncer just threw me off. And I said, oh, we're here to see Moose. And he said, is your name on the list? And I said, no, like I come and see Moose all the time. What are you talking about? Like there's never a list. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is not, the box or anything like that. Like this is not somewhere nowhere. And he was like, no, like this is a special event tonight. Like if your name's not on the list, you're not getting in. And our friend, the manager, came up to the end of the bar, which is right in front of the front door. And he saw us and he was like, oh my gosh, so good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I hadn't been to this bar since my birthday 2 months prior when I was still on
Yeah, we went.
crutches.
Yeah, we
Yep,
went all
because we
together.
went for my birthday. So I hadn't seen him in 2 months. And so so we're at the door and he's like, oh my gosh, there was two people sitting in the two chairs at that bar front right in front of the front door. He said to both, he like slammed his hands on the counter and said to both of them, find somewhere else to go, and then pointed at the two of us and said, sit here. And the bouncer was like, well, I can't overrule him, so
Yeah.
go for it. And what happened was it was a private party being held in this bar. It was a birthday party for 5 different people that all had their birthday on St. Patrick's Day that worked for the same company.
Oh my God.
And so they had a full open bar and they had like a whole bunch of food catered or whatever. We did not like go anywhere near the food, but we did enjoy the drinks. I don't know how many rounds we had, but we got wasted, which was great because we were drowning our sorrows in the fact that we didn't get to go see Zach Bryan that night. The next night, Saturday, oh, mind you, I did have to work Friday, I did have to work Saturday, and I did have to work Sunday last year. Let's just go ahead and go over that as well. So last year on the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, I had some friends that were visiting from Northern California, and I had never gotten to spend time with them outside of just casually running into them and saying hello once. So getting to actually sit down with them, chat with them, that was something I was looking forward to. So we went to a bar and we did just that. And I told myself, I woke up hungover that morning. I was still hungover by the time that we got to this bar on Saturday night. It was bad. I said, I'm not drinking. And then someone started ordering tequila shots. And next thing I know, I'm not getting home until 3 in the morning and I'm drunk. And then I'm showing up at work at 9 a.m. the next morning, hungover. It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green. Like, I'm luck of the Irish, And I get off of work early. It's St. Patrick's Day. We go to the same favorite bar of ours to go see the same favorite manager. I actually took one of my employees with me to come and join me. We were both off the clock. Like, he had the day off. I was off the clock at this point, and I had the next day, that Monday, off. So I was like, let's go see my favorite my favorite bartender because he's heard stories about this guy before, has never met him. I was like, let's go. They bring a friend. The person that was with me on Friday night came enjoyed. One of the people that was with me on Saturday night came enjoyed. Um, I don't know how I got home that night. I don't know. I don't know anything. I did see pictures. They were cute. Um, Someone said that at one point I ran off and they found me with a stranger.
Typical.
Um, which is very believable with,
Story tracks.
story tracks. Yeah. Previous experiences, it tracks. So yeah, St. Patrick's Day for me has always been a little rowdy, a little crazy.
Did you hear your mom in
Um,
town?
yeah, this year it's not going to be as rowdy, as crazy because my mom is coming into town, and as much as I love her, I don't think we're gonna go all
Yeah,
out, all crazy. But did you see the photo that I sent you last night, or did I
definitely
send
did.
it to you? Okay. Do you want to explain that and explain where I get my party side from?
So Delaney sent me a picture of her mom taking a shot at a football game or at some sort of game.
Yeah.
And there is a simultaneous picture of Delaney on her knee taking a shot at a concert that we went to a couple years back. And she just goes, I see where I get it from. And you know what? It tracks. It is the funniest side by side thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
But
Because,
what's really funny is that photo of my mom was taken probably like 2 or 3 months ago, and her
yeah,
friends posted it of her on Facebook for her birthday a couple days ago.
I just think like it's so funny. And when you were talking that you ran off with a stranger, there was one point we went to a concert a couple years back, and Delaney and our friend Micah,
Oh God.
were drinking the whole night, taking shots, and we were like surrounding them like while they were taking a shot, and like like shooters in your bra and you just whatever. And Delaney and Micah, I turned my head for 1 minute, and
Oh no, I think I know what you're going to talk about.
they're bolting across the arena to go look for someone. And I'm running after them. And I'm like, we gotta go. Like they're kicking us out. We're gonna get stuck in the parking lot. And you're like, but we haven't seen. And I'm like, get out of here. Gotta go. Corralling them is like two toddlers throwing a temper tantrum. It just doesn't happen. And I love them to bits, and they're the funniest people ever. But I was like, y'all are stressing me out. Like they're running across the arena. You have the like security guards like pushing tape at us to get us out. And they're like, but we haven't seen. I'm like, we're
We
not
haven't seen
seeing
our friend. We need
we're
to
not
see our
seeing
friend
them.
first.
We're not seeing them. I'm so sorry to tell you. And we wound up getting out of the arena and got free Wendy's that night. It was really fun. But
It was really fun. But also what's really funny is that Micah and I haven't necessarily like grown out of that.
no,
Um,
you're just
because
more mature about it.
yeah, but we still go and run off.
Yeah.
Which is why part of the reason why I'm so excited for your wedding,
Oh my
because
God,
who knows what's gonna happen.
dude. I I need all of my friends to be there. I need that to be like the biggest concert event of my life.
Yeah, it will be. It will be very
My
fun.
anniversary is on St. Patrick's Day, so last year I went golfing. Not the same, but that's not really a much of a
No,
story to tell. But
no.
and this year I'm going to a pottery studio.
I'm really excited for what you're doing this year. I think it's a very cute little tradition that you're
Yeah,
starting, and I'm
I think
sure
so
once you're
too.
ready
So
to
I'm really
share about
excited.
it, I think it's really cute. Me, on the other hand, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So anyone that has suggestions on what to do with their mom in New York City for St. Patrick's Day, please send those suggestions my way because I'm drawing a blank. I don't know if I necessarily want to go to an Irish bar with my mom on St. Patrick's Day because I know myself and I know my mom, and I think we should be doing something a little bit more tame. The only thing I can think of is I don't know if anyone has seen, and I found this through TikTok. There's a bakery called Mary O's, I think. I don't know where I think I want to say it's in the East Village, but I could be wrong. And all they serve is it's like a traditional like Irish bakery, and they serve scones, and that's all they serve. And I was like, oh, that'd be really cute to do in the morning or something. But the rest of the day, I genuinely have no idea. So please send me your suggestions. Hopefully, someone sends me a suggestion before the day happens, even though this is probably not getting posted until that night.
Yeah.
So, but
And
we'll see.
we are in the nick of time. We have about 10 minutes left. So Any roundup thoughts?
Um,
Hold on, I have a thought.
oh gosh.
This
Okay.
time next year will be at my wedding. So
This is true.
we will have a really great story to tell.
We will have a very great story to tell.
Yeah.
Um, Roundup thoughts. Well, this was a fun episode because
Yeah.
although we didn't stray towards the more traditional, like, is it cool? Is it not cool? Actually, here, how about this? Is it cool to go out on St. Patrick's Day and get plastered and not remember anything except for stealing a Guinness glass?
100%. It's a
There you
story.
go.
It's an
It's a
experience.
story. It's a story.
It's all for the
Also,
plot.
it's always, always for the plot. I also love the fact that we met at an Irish bar and we didn't talk to each other the whole entire night. And now some of the most
Mem-
fun
Yeah.
memories we have been revolving around St. Patrick's Day. I also love that although I didn't get to celebrate it with you last year because you didn't come out with us, getting to figure out what happened the night before via my friends texting me and then me live updating you once I got updates from the friends of what happened, that was fun.
But I also get your lift updates, so it's fine. I'm in the loop
That's
anyway.
right.
I
Oh
get
my
your
gosh.
lift
Do you
updates.
want to explain that?
So, okay, year it has to be years at this point. Years ago, Delaney was like, "Hey, I'm gonna share my lift." When she first moved out to Jersey with me, she was like, "I'm gonna share my lift updates with you," because she was coming to and from Newark, and she was like, I would feel more safe if like you knew where I was." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." We never turn them off. So now I just get her notifications when she's taking a lift, which is great. But like when she goes
Which
out
is pretty
on
frequently as well,
yeah,
too.
but when she goes out, I know because I'll wake up to like 14 different Lyft notifications and I'm like, she had a good night. She had a good time.
And it's really funny because you'll get them at like 3,
Or
4 in the morning.
yeah, literally, I was like, there was one time I woke up for work and she was getting a lift and I was like, we're not on the same schedule, babe. And I texted her and I was like, what are you doing up right now? And that's a story for another.
Wait, I know which.
That's a story for another day.
I
But
don't know if that's a story that will ever make this channel, but
that's fair. That's fair. I respect that.
um, but I know exactly what you're talking about now because
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
And
always
on
been
that note,
Friday is always at the scene of the crime.
it is.
Friday
It
is always at
is.
the scene of the crime.
This was a really fun episode.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this.
I'm also really interested to see what we do for St. Patrick's Day and to do like
Yeah.
a little mini debrief in the next episode.
Yeah, love that.
This was really fun.
And we're gonna do our monthly roundup soon, so
Yeah, at that point it'll be halfway through the month, but it's okay.
it's fine. Well, this was fun. I
This
love
was very
you, Allie.
fun. I love you so much.
And bye guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day.